Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have some news for everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some wonderful news. Let's go ahead and read this. Mueller's findings in Russia probe could reportedly be delivered as soon as next week. So, as soon as next week, the end of the Mueller probe, William Barr is going to announce the end of the Mueller probe. That's pretty good. That's fantastic news. So that really is fantastic news. The end of the Mueller probe next week. And it's like, what are Democrats going to have? What will Democrats have? If they don't have the Mueller probe, what do they have? So, end of the Mueller probe next week. Let's read this. Mueller's findings in the Russia probe could reportedly be delivered as soon as next week. Attorney General William Barr is ready to announce the end of the Russia investigation as early as next week, CNN reported. Previous reporting indicated that before he was confirmed as Attorney General last week, Barr had begun planning on how to rein in Mueller. Good. The special counsel leading. Fantastic. Barr said at his confirmation hearing last month that instead of sending the Mueller report to Congress, he would send his own summary of Mueller's findings. Awesome. Barr has described Mueller's investigation into whether the president obstructed justice as legally insupportable. Fantastic. And did not commit to recusing himself. Legal experts said that a report from Mueller would not necessarily signify the end. Yes, it would. Russia investigation, adding there are still multiple ongoing court cases. Oh, my God. William Barr is gearing up to announce the end of the special counsel Russia investigation as soon as next week. Brandon Wolf. Finally, a shoddy Mueller. Okay, offense is needed from Trump to put the screws. Exactly. Brandon Wolf. Thank you. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, share this live stream. I'm going to try to do at least 20 minutes or more. I usually would do an hour, but if nobody got the notification, I'll end in like 20 minutes or a half an hour and just do an upload for everyone. But to my super chat and to Brandon Wolf, thank you. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Yeah, I mean, look, the Mueller probe, Sessions couldn't end the Mueller probe because he recused himself from the life. Sessions recused himself from life. So we have William Barr, who's now recused, who's now not only didn't. Oh, you got the notification? Okay, good. Press 1 if you got a notification. Press 1 if you got a notification. But this is fantastic news. This is really fantastic news. Attorney General. Okay, so according to CNN, Barr, before his confirmation, Barr had begun planning how to take control of the investigation. He was reportedly focused on two decisions: how much information to report to Congress about Mueller's findings and who the deputy attorney general would be. So we have a new deputy attorney general. His name is Jeffrey Rosen. And all right, thank you, everyone. So some people did, some people didn't. But ladies and gentlemen, this is huge news. This is absolutely enormous news. And they without the Mueller probe, the Democratic Party, all they have is Twitter and AOC and Jesse Smollett. So other than that, they don't have really any. I mean, their claim to fame now is ensuring that 107,000 direct and indirect jobs, from 25,000 to 40,000 Amazon employees being hired, because it was an 8 million square foot tech hub, which would have actually brought in like Apple and Google. And I mean, you would have had. You could have potentially, if you were New York, thank God, because we have already one Silicon Valley messing everything up. But you would have had a Silicon Valley. You would have had a Silicon Valley on the East Coast with even more political power. Thank God AOC prevented all of that from taking place. Could you imagine? CJ Matt, exactly. So that's their claim to fame now. Barr has set his sights on Jeffrey Rosen, the Deputy Transportation Secretary, to replace Rosenstein. Look, you're no longer dealing with amateurs like Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions was... Look, what's the definition of a coward? I mean, it's basically what Sessions did for 2 years. He allowed Trump to be undermined at every turn. He allowed Trump, he recused himself from everything. He let the Mueller probe. He picked Rosenstein, who knew Mueller, who immediately said, oh my God, you fired James Comey. Once James Comey was fired, which had to happen, then they knew. See, they thought that James Comey, look, they thought that Trump would allow James Comey to just, be there forever. They were so convinced in their influence and power. They were so convinced that they said, if Trump touches Comey, we're all done. Once Trump fired Comey, then Andrew McCabe was under criminal investigation for lying. Then you had Peter Strzok's text messages with Lisa Page. Then you had all of these revelations. You had all of these revelations. Exactly. Drew Kirk, exactly. I'm not a fan of the Washington Post. They're getting sued for what? $25 million now, which is fantastic. But if you want to come in to any community and bring 25 and then 40,000 jobs, and they wouldn't have gotten the $3 billion without creating well over 25,000 jobs, approaching the 40,000 jobs, and also that they only get the $3 billion tax incentive if they achieved close to $27 billion in tax revenue. So, 250. That's okay. 250. That's right. So, AOC is the gift that keeps on giving. But in the weeks leading up, so William Barr was already looking at dismantling the Mueller probe. And look, it's 2 years. They had 2 years of nothing. Oh my God, Trump's going to get indicted for working with Putin. The notion is absurd. The notion is absolutely absurd. I mean, think of that for a second. The fantasy required to believe that Trump worked with Russia to hack the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated. What kind of fantasy? What kind of absurd, ludicrous notion is that? Without any evidence at all. Without any evidence at all. John Boston, hello. So it's not just Business Insider. So there's a Business Insider article. In the weeks leading up to his highly anticipated testimony, Barr drew sharp scrutiny over a memo he wrote last year arguing that Mueller's investigation into whether President Trump obstructed justice is legally unsupportable. You cannot fabricate an investigation through unlawful and criminal means and then say, oh my God, you're stopping our unlawful investigation, you're obstructing justice. This is like sophomoric, ridiculous, overtly and blatantly criminal. It's just like, what's that movie? Was it Cannonball Run? Where like the sheriff in the South goes around the car and he's like, I think you got a taillight problem. And then he like cracks the taillight with his baton. Okay. That's essentially what they did to Trump. They're like, you worked with Russia. And all the rest of humanity is like, well, where's the evidence? Then they fabricated a Steele dossier. Kay Bowser, hello. That's awesome. They fabricated anything. I mean, everything. They fabricated. He didn't work with Russia, Democrats. You lost. You lost. Say it again. Lost. After you cheated Bernie. We didn't cheat Bernie. Well, then what? Well, why did Russia allegedly hack the DNC, which never happened? So now we're going to find out for the next 2 years the basis, the foundation of Democratic Party influence over the media. What exactly prompted McCabe and Comey and Strzok and Clapper and Brennan? They're all going to blame Obama. Well, we were told to by President Obama. They're all turning on each other now. McCabe strategically gave snippets of truth to people. And he's like, I just think, it's possible that Trump is a Russian asset. Meanwhile, Obama presided over the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity, could have vetoed the sale, didn't, and came in with a Russian reset. So what they've done is, and then he even said to Dmitry Medvedev in a hot mic, well, once I'm elected, we'll be able to negotiate. And he told Romney the 80s want your foreign policy back. It was the Republicans who had this hawkish stance on Russia. And suddenly Clinton, money flowed into the Clinton Foundation. It's so obvious. It is so painfully obvious, everything that is going on. And the pretext, the illusion of the semblance of some kind of legitimacy regarding the Russia probe is nauseating. Well, we just have to wait. It's an investigation. They love how they stand behind that, as if it's the Clinton investigation where she actually committed crimes, where Comey says, oh yeah, she broke legal statutes, but she didn't mean to do it. And that's coming back in full force. Clinton will eventually get indicted because there's too many crimes she committed. And I just love how we just can't come to conclusions. We can't come to conclusions. We just have to wait for the investigation to run its course. Well, it's about to end, and you found nothing. Asked whether he would commit to making any report Mueller produces available to Congress and the public, Barr said Mueller's report would not be made public. That's right. Instead, he told lawmakers the public would see Barr's summary of the special counsel findings. That's fantastic. All 2 years, Mueller, special counsel Mueller. They were so proud of themselves whenever they said that. Oh, look, we have our special counsel. Oh, look, Trump is a criminal. We have a special counsel, Mueller. Oh, we're so cool and awesome. Special counsel Mueller. Really? What did he do, special counsel Mueller? He went to Office Depot and got those little clear covers, the little clear plastic covers like you would get for a book report in middle school. Did you read Catcher in the Rye? Did you read 1984? Okay, now give a book report and put it in little glossy little book report covers. And Catcher in the Rye in 1984, two great books, by the way. But yeah, it's like Mitchell Smith. HA a little concerned about Mueller and Weissman and their part in this. We all know the relationship between William Barr and Robert Mueller. Mitchell Smith, I'll tell you something. Everybody knows thank you, Mitchell, as always, for your support. Thank you so much. Think of it this way. Who was invited to Trump's wedding and who went? Or who actually crashed the wedding or went with that famous picture of Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and Melania and President Trump? I mean, everybody knows everyone in Washington. There are no friends. Mitchell Smith, you have friends and family. I have friends and family. We have connections with people. We have friends where we care about. We're loyal to our friends and family. That's not Washington. Washington is, we're friends? Okay, well, political power is what binds people. Political power is what drives people. Influence is what motivates people. So, exactly, they're frenemies. And so I wouldn't worry. I mean, right now we're getting all we need to know. Thank you again, Mitchell. Thank you. If I'm reading the Attorney General's summary of Mueller's findings, the first thing I'm going to look for is what Barr says or doesn't say about the obstruction case. There was no obstruction of justice because it was an unlawful investigation based on opposition research purchased by Hillary Clinton, which used Russian sources. There was never obstruction of justice. It's an unlawful investigation. You can't, it is an unlawful investigation based on the Steele dossier that was purchased by Hillary Clinton, an absurd conversation between Alexander Downer and George Papadopoulos, and a FISA warrant obtained without telling the judges that they utilized an unverified Steele dossier. It's not just unverified. It's like saying the Inquirer. You look at the Inquirer, and it's like, the Wolfman had a baby with the Bride of Frankenstein, and it's like, well, this is uncorroborated. What do you mean it's unverified? You mean the Wolfman might have had a baby with the Bride of Frankenstein? It's that could have happened. That could have happened. It's unverified. No, you don't just spew nonsense and then say, well, it's unverified. If something is ridiculous, then it's ridiculous. And the House of Representatives, yes, will definitely take the baton and then go after Trump, but they have no power really. I mean, we learned that when the Republicans were in the House of Representatives, they didn't really have that much power. Mitchell, thank you. They didn't really have that much power. The DOJ would hide, and the DOJ would call the shots. That's why when people say, like, William Barr is part of the swamp, well, you need the swamp. You need the establishment to take care of the establishment. There are no quote-unquote white hats or whatever that absurd, lame expression, the white hats. No, there are no people within the government working. Suddenly, this is a struggle for power from one establishment figure, from one part of the establishment. Even though Trump is, wrecking what we would consider to be the establishment, he's still a part of it in a very big way. He's a part of everything. He conquered Hollywood. Now he conquered politics. These are all, and that's why they can't stand him, because his influence on culture, on the future of the country, they want an interventionist foreign policy, and for us to fight and squabble endlessly over semantics at home. Words within the United States are worth more to many progressives and most liberals than interventions outside of the United States. Think about that for a second. Semantics, discussion, words, feelings, euphemisms. And what I mean by euphemisms, I mean a phrase that is all-encompassing. Not just a phrase that it's used to describe something unpleasant. They care more about their version of morality, which in many ways is linked to immorality within the United States. And when I say immorality, I'm talking about, like, look at Harvey Weinstein. We have the people who we have Hollywood pontificating and preaching, and everyone in Hollywood is, well, look at what's taking place right now, fabricating stories. So, Omar Pena, it's all exposed. It pretty much, it is all exposed. I mean, Mueller findings delivered next week. Omar Pena, thank you. And then there's no obstruction case. William Barr wrote a memo, an unsolicited memo to Trump saying there's no obstruction. There's no legal basis. Obstruction of justice is when a crime has been committed and there's evidence of a crime and there's a suspect, and that suspect tries to delete emails. Oh, like Clinton, 33,000 emails, destroying BlackBerries with a hammer. Wiping servers clean, that's obstruction of justice. Telling some guy who then goes on Reddit and says, oh, do you have any information on how to delete emails that are subpoenaed for a VIP? That's obstruction of justice. And the crime is telling Brian Pagliano to transfer top secret and special access program intelligence from secure channels within the United States government. Brian Pagliano knows that it's public record. Everyone in Congress knows who all the Republicans, like Lindsey Graham, who know what's going on. They know who Brian Pagliano is. The 99% of Americans do not. Lindsey Graham knows. His whole Lindsey Graham's entire staff knows who Brian Pagliano is. And Clinton, it has a list of people she will throw under the bus before, she's even close to getting indicted, which she'll eventually get indicted. Andrew McCabe lied 3 times under oath with intent. He'll get indicted. And he actually brought up the issue of a special counsel because he wants to be of worth for a special counsel. Tino Bobina! I did not know that. I did not know that, but I will check that out. So you have a situation where it's all coming to a halt. And all of these people, they tried to, look, if they went after Michael Cohen and Manafort, who committed crimes would have nothing to do with Trump Russia. Nothing to do with Trump Russia. Every single time they tried to get Trump, campaign finance violations. Nope, wasn't a campaign finance violations. Not campaign finance violation. What is a campaign finance violation, by the way? What is a campaign finance violation is actually funneling money through a law firm. Funneling money through a law firm to pay for the Steele dossier. That is a campaign finance violation. That is a campaign finance violation because you wouldn't have done so were it not for your efforts to influence the election. So, it's all coming crashing down. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. This really is hilarious. And once it ends, think about it this way. Once it ends, what are you going to do? Remember Hulk Hogan? What are you going to do when the pythons come after you? What are you going to do when William Barr ends this? What are you going to do when William Barr ends this, Democrats? You'll have nothing left. TWE. Democrats will have nothing left. What are they going to do? Mueller findings delivered next week. They've spent 2 years. On Manafort, he's going to flip and sing. Michael Cohen, he's going to flip and sing. Papadopoulos, he's going to flip and sing. Everyone's going to flip and sing. No one flipped, no one sung. No one sung, no one flipped. There were no acrobatics. There were nothing. There was nothing. Only people flipping and singing are McCabe. But they do it in a very slimy, bureaucratic way. We really were upset when Comey left and was, let go by Trump. We were so upset. Dear Leader Comey, we loved him. Oh, by the way, Comey was wrong, and he allowed me to leak to the media. Comey knew I was speaking to the New York Times. Uh-oh. Or to the Wall Street Journal. Who's lying? Who's not telling the truth? Who's not telling the truth now? Who's not telling the truth? Who's not telling the truth? Because McCabe says that Comey allowed him to leak information. Comey says he didn't allow anyone, and he'll testify against McCabe. So McCabe leaked information to the Wall Street Journal. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? This is hilarious. They leaked information. Andrew McCabe leaked information only for self-serving purposes because his wife received hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then he's like, I was fired because I opened a case against the president. No, you opened a case. You opened a case against the president because everything you were doing was illegal. And you lied under oath to cover it up. Part of leaking information. Katrina Gamzee, thank you. My YouTube crush HJ's live stream next week is going to be awesome. That's right. Next week, this live stream is going to be awesome. Katrina, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you. It's going to be great. Katrina, thank you so very much. It's going to be great. I mean, this is hilarious because oh Omar Pena, this is all build to a season finale. I mean, exactly. The season finale will be 2 years because they're gonna milk this for 2 years. He leaked information. He leaked information to the New York Times. Trump has publicly attacked the Russia investigation more than 1,100 times. Oh my God! This is one of the most hilarious New York Times articles. 1,100 times he did? It should have been 11,000 times. Oh Lord. Trump has publicly attacked the Russia investigation more than 1,100 times. Oh my God, really? There's the graph. This is fantastic. 67 times he disparaged the Russia investigation alone in July. Oh my God. He was just 67 times he disparaged the Russia investigation just in July alone. No. Oh my. And then it goes, this is the best. It goes on to talk about these are 5 or 6 different charts, graphs on how many times he's disparaged and insulted different things. So the Russia investigation, a high of 67 times in July of 2018. Fantastic. Should have been 6,700. He could have done better. FBI, Justice Department, and intelligence agencies. Another high of 60 times in July. All throughout the year, he was insulting them and disparaging them numerous times, sometimes 40, sometimes 30 different times through tweets and everything else. Match Mac. Barna Whitaker. Yes, boss. Bring me a... Oh, my God. Match Mac. And a capsule of cyanide after those photos are viewed. Hillary Clinton in her campaign, a high of 40 times. He's disparaged James Comey over 26 times the beginning of 2018 and throughout the year. The Obama administration, news media. This is like the New York Times, like, see? Do you see? Everyone else is like, yes, yes. This is fantastic. He should have been disparaging them more. This is amazing. We love it. We love it. Trump has publicly put down the Russia investigation. Oh my goodness. This is horrible. How dare he do that? How dare he? You know, I just love this too. They think so highly of themselves. They're like, look what he's doing to us. Is this rule of law? I like the rule of law. Lisa Lister! I hope you offer an alternative to the Oscars. Yes. Yes, Lisa Lister. Yes. Well, it's all going down. I mean, this is going to be I might develop awards like Clinton will win the most corrupt in the history of mankind award. Nah, not in the history of mankind, but in the history of the US. Lisa Lister, thank you. Thank you as always, Lisa, for your support of this channel. Thank you. And my voice. Thank you. So this is just Lisa, more than 1,100 times that Trump has disparaged the Russia investigation. Should have been 11,000 times. He didn't do enough. Meghan McCain, I don't believe your story. That's so great. Andrew McCabe is under criminal investigation. He's on The View. He's on Stephen Colbert. Check out my upload prior to this one about McCabe and Stephen Colbert. He doesn't even talk about the Steele dossier. And it's just interesting. It's like they're like, oh, he demanded loyalty. Meanwhile, Loretta Lynch met with Bill Clinton to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. I mean, you have more than loyalty. Lisa Lister, thank you. I think that he told people to vote for Hillary Clinton for a reason. But I just, it's going down, and everyone here, I have the best live chat. I have the best people who watch my channel. I have people who are Trump supporters, people who are still Bernie supporters, but mainly Trump supporters, mainly people who like Trump, but also people who are just independents. George Rivera Jr., thank you. I would like to see the charts where the attacks on Trump are compared to the times POTUS was forced to defend himself. Exactly. Exactly, George Rivera Jr. But to answer your question, the one wonderful gentleman here in the live chat, I think that pundit had a reason to tell everyone to vote for Hillary in swing states. There's a reason. Even though she cheated Bernie, even though she pushed for every single intervention, even though she did every single thing possible, committed crimes, I think that pundit had a reason to. And that's what I always say. That's my thoughts on that gentleman, who's disparaged me for saying that Clinton was going to get indicted, which she was. James Baker agreed with me. George Rivera Jr., thank you. Exactly. Lisa Lister, thank you. It's like, this is one thing about Trump, and I noticed that he didn't do this with Ann Coulter, but pretty much every single time someone goes after him, he responds back. I agree with you on that. That's one thing. Bernie Sanders should have fought, not just the 1%, he should have fought for the people who gave him money. I have a viewer, one of my viewers gave $1,000 to Bernie. Ladies and gentlemen, there are people who gave hundreds of dollars, $1,000 to Bernie Sanders. He raised $6 million. Yeah, like what, 2 days ago, like the past day or so. Bernie rates all going into the DNC again. It's like, I mean, at this point, it's like a Ponzi scheme. Bernie Sanders raises nearly $6 million in 24 hours. If you give money and he gets cheated, guess where it's going? The DNC. And then like this, should Bernie Sanders fundraising worry rivals? No, they should worry the people donating. And you get one, but donation's a donation. No, it's not. This and Trump says crazy Bernie just entered the race. I wish it well. Ay. Trump is hilarious. I'm entering the race to make sure that Trump doesn't ruin this country with 5.1 million new jobs created, 400 plus thousand manufacturing jobs, a wage growth that's faster than anything in the past 10 years, bringing home Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts that I said I would do. This man is a monster. And by the way, if I get cheated, I'm going to give all my money to Deborah Wasserman. Dear Deborah, our time together in 2016 was a special moment in history. I've always loved you, Deborah, and I want you to know that I'm thinking of you endlessly. Your frizzy hair is absolutely something that gives me chills in the evening time. And I just can't wait for us to be together again at the DNC when I give all my delegates to Kamala Harris. After all the money that people have given me goes to the Democratic National Committee, the wonderful DNC, or Joe Biden. Oh, how I miss your frizzy, wonderful hair. And someone told me you were two-timing me with Beto O'Rourke. His new name is Drunko, in my opinion. I'm waiting for... I thought Beto O'Rourke was going to run. I thought it was Beto 2020. What happened? What happened to Beto 2020? What happened to Beto 2020? Beto. Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke talks like Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted's. If you ever hear Beto O'Rourke speak, just watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then you'll hear Beto. Beto O'Rourke was in a debate with like Ted Cruz, and he was like, I made mistakes. I drank like a whole case, got like, behind the wheel, and I owned my mistakes. But just to let you know, the president worked with the Russia. Totally, dude. Totally rad. Oh my goodness. And then we get to hear like the moral of the pontificating, like, this is wrong. Amazon, go. Amazon, off. Oh, they're already attacking Bernie. I love it. I don't love it, actually, but... Oh, my God. Somebody just... Bro, Bernie Sanders needs to accept his runner-up status. Oh, my God. But I thought the Russians... Who is this? The American Idol runner-up? What the... Oh, my... Oh, my God. This is going to be another, like, sectarian, like, tribalistic. It's going to be worse than 2016. Because if Bernie gets even close and he gets cheated again, I mean, you're talking about an utter collapse. I mean, who are they going to blame now? What are they going to blame now? Oh my God. This is the runner-up for America. What? Like, why would you? So they're still going at it. They're still going at it. They're still going at it. It's unbelievable. Jeez. Jeez. Like, I don't like. Look, I'm voting for Trump. And I've lost a great deal of respect for Bernie. But I kind of understand a little bit of, like, a lot. I understand the dysfunction. Democrats are so dysfunctional, it's unbelievable. They're so dysfunctional. That they're like 25,000 jobs? No way. You mean that 25,000 jobs could lead to 40,000 jobs, could lead to 107,000 direct and indirect jobs, and $27 billion and $186 million in gross state product in terms of economic activity? Amazon, be gone. Amazon, off. Never Amazon. And it's like, they don't, even people on the left are like, no. Well, you created this. They need enthusiasm. Look, the Democratic Party is a bunch of people who pontificate based on the latest fads coming out of colleges and universities, the latest pseudo-intellectual groupthink. So they latch on to the latest pseudo-intellectual groupthink, which is all nonsense, and they think that it's like the gospel. So they preach, and everyone just rolls their eyes. Most people do not feel that they're like, whatever. Then, after 2016, when they completely cheated and Deborah Wasserman was forced to step down, then they blamed Russia for hacking the DNC to inform everyone that Bernie Sanders was cheated. They lost whatever passion and energy and enthusiasm they had. They had no more enthusiasm. They had no more passion. They had no more grassroots. There is no grassroots support for the Democratic Party. There's grassroots support still, if you could believe it, for Bernie Sanders. There's grassroots support for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. There's no grassroots support for Joe Biden. There's really very little grassroots support for Kamala Harris. And so what they've done is they're at this constant, struggle to ensure that there's some kind of passion or enthusiasm. So then they just trot out Bernie again. And then you get like people in Hollywood that bro Bernie Sanders. Someone tell a certain bro running that sometimes you need to accept your runner-up status and move on. I'd know. Well, did the Russians cheat you? Which is what, for 2 years? Which is what took place for 2 years. I mean, and even Bernie Sanders was in on it. Why does Trump get to want to repeal the estate tax? I mean, here we go. It's like it's the same thing over again. Instead of focusing on bringing home Americans, look. The same people who didn't like Bernie Sanders are now stronger than ever. And his foundation, the base of his support, has been not decimated, but has decreased substantially. Now you have the majority of Bernie supporters who are like, well, if he doesn't win, I'll just vote for, Joe Biden, no problem. It's just really interesting. Like, it's really interesting how they make the same mistakes all over again. They make the same mistakes all over again. They never get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. And then who are they going to blame now? You have the Mueller probe ending. The Mueller probe is ending by some reports, many reports now, next week. Mueller probe's ending next week. So, like, what are they going to say? What are they going to say now? And now, like, they're all like, people are they're using my name to disparage Bernie Bros on Twitter. Oh, they're all racist. Yeah, Bernie Sanders is racist now also. This one guy like yesterday's. Remember H.A. Goodman? I'm still here. My channel's growing. Everything's fine. I'm getting published. Everything's fine. And then they say Michael Tracy, H.A. Goodman types. That's hilarious. He thinks I'm very likely thinks I'm nuts, Michael Tracy. Shouting out how Bernie was secretly undercutting Clinton. Huh? Undercutting Clinton? What? I said that Bernie was getting cheated. Bernie Bros are now claiming Russia didn't try to divide Democrats. They didn't. And then somebody says someone's got to fill the void left by H.A. Goodman's departure to Machiavelli. Oh, I love this guy, by the way. He's always he brings up my name in like a really cool and wonderful manner. Like, never, insulting or anything. He just brings up my name because to people on the left, I'm like, this insane, like, monster, crazy person, satanic person. The real media. Oh, God, the Bernie Bros are now claiming Russia didn't try to divide the Democrats. No, the Democrats were already divided because they cheated Bernie. That's why Russia allegedly hacked the DNC. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. They're still talking about me on Twitter. I love it. It's so great. It's so great. This is so great. I'm not on Twitter, by the way. So anyone who sees like fake accounts that are like spreading harmful links, that's not me. I have like a whole bunch of like people pretending that, or like, parody accounts or whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, this is hilarious. Thank you, Kristen Email. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much. They're talking about me on Twitter, and I find it not only amusing, but a testament to my fortitude. My fortitude as an individual. as an amazing individual. The Bernie Sanders, they're hating Bernie Sanders. Still, I mean, my God, it still doesn't, All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much to my super chat. Thank you. Watch the upload. I'll be uploading a whole bunch of wonderful segments today. Thank you so much. Check out my Second Amendment channel as well. Thank you, Patrick Murray. Thank you. I'll be setting some great Mighty Python 24. Thank you. Check out my Federalist and Daily Caller and Jerusalem Post articles below. Thank you so much, everyone. I will be back very soon. This is a great, great day. It's going to be an awesome couple weeks. Awesome year. Thank you very much.